All is well. Islam.
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 All is well. Can you see the slide?
Yeah.
Islam. Yes.
All right. All right. So we live. We're here today. I am Deputy Sheik Cornelius Sanders Bay. Islam. I am Deputy Sheik Cornelius Sanders Bay, representing the Speakers Bureau, brought to you by the Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, the Moorish American National Republic, under the direction and guidance of our National Grand Sheik, Joel Bratton Bay. We are here today for our Founders Day, which is January 8th, 2022, according to the Gregorian calendar. And it is our prophet, Noble Jew Ali. It is his birthright day, and we are here to bring a special presentation. And with that being said, I would like to start. Islam, Islamism. Bismi Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. First and foremost, I'd like to rise to my highest of heights and give all perfect praise to our Father God Allah, acknowledging our ancestors, known and unknown, recognizing and naming all true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and the last prophet in these days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Jew Ali, in his first, second, and third form. I would like to remain standing and extend those honors to our National Grand Sheik, Joel Bratton Bay, all national officials at headquarters in Baltimore, Maryland, all sheiks, sheikesses, deputy sheiks, and deputy sheikesses, and all of our friends, visitors, guests, citizens, members, students, children. I greet you all with Islam. Today's date, for the record, is January 8th, 2022, according to the Gregorian calendar. And as always, we open all our calls and events and presentations with paying homage to our Mother, Father, God, Allah. So can I please have everyone who is able to stand erect, facing towards the east, heels together, toes apart, separated at a 45-degree angle, upper arms parallel to the floor, forearms perpendicular, 5 fingers erect and together on the left, 2 fingers erect and together on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation, by night and by day, through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. Trusting each and every one of you who are viewing this. And I trust that all is well, everyone. And again, we are representing the Speakers Bureau, and we will be getting into our presentation momentarily. I just wanted to go ahead and do those things that we needed to do. But without further ado, with that being said, we're gonna open up and start our presentation. Islam. Greetings and salutations of peace and blessedness to you all. We thank you for coming out today to share with us. We are members representing the Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, the Moorish American National Republic. Living in the community brings with it an obligation to work towards the uplift of our community. I am Brother Deputy Sheik Cornelius Sanders Bay. Personally, I'm a public safety officer. I enjoy my work because I enjoy providing a safe environment for the public and for all people. The Speakers Bureau joining me this evening are
Islam. I'm Sister Geraldine McCrae Bay from the Washington Republic. Personally, I'm an administrator for a healthcare organization I enjoy my work because we not only care for our communities, we have devoted our work to better address the inequities within these said communities.
Islam, I am Debbie Sheik, brother mainstream grade Bay 44 from the Massachusetts Commonwealth. Personally, I am a barber and I enjoy my work because I like to make people feel good and look good. Islam.
Islam. Hold 1 second. Islam, Deputy Sheik is Ariana Sanders Bay. Islam, Deputy Sheik is Ariana Sanders Bay.
Can I be
Islam, you can be heard.
Islam? I am Sister Deputy Chiquis Ariana Sanders Bay. Personally, I'm an inventory tech. I enjoy my work because I help keep patients alive.
Islam. Again, we are members of the Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America, Incorporated. Number 13, the Moorish American National Republic. We are here to give honors. We are here to give honor to the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, Prophet Noble Timothy Drew Ali, and celebrate his role in the uplift of our people. Please submit your questions and comments to the chat room. We will address them during the Q&A session upon completion of today's presentation.
The mission of the Moorish Science Temple of America is to uplift fallen humanity. The mission of the Divine and National Movement is to bring about the restoration of our people to the status of full citizens of these United States of America. One way we accomplish this is through educating our people about an overlooked yet viable solution to that which has been called the Negro problem. So this afternoon, we will approach our conversation from the levels of uplifting fallen humanity, as well as the restoration of our people to human status. Let us first consider the uplifting of fallen humanity. Does anyone see humanity as needing uplift, or is humanity doing just fine? It is true we all see the need for uplift in our community. Yet where do we begin? How do we accomplish uplift on a daily basis? We suggest our community uplift work begin with the uplift effort of each one individually. When we say start with self, we do include spouse and children as we see the immediate family structure as an individual unit or body.
We have found there are factors in the ongoing work of transforming ourselves into better human beings who are able to rise above the misguided behaviors proliferate in our neighborhoods and communities. These three factors are our thoughts, that is our thinking, our speech, meaning the words we choose to utter, our activities, and the things we do. Let's quickly speak to each of these. Uplifting our thoughts. Why should we uplift our thoughts? Our thoughts are the seeds which make up our life experience. So minding our thoughts is akin to mining a gold field. Do we wake up praising our Creator for another day? Are we grateful for the small blessings that come our way? Are we happy for or jealous of our neighbor who just hit the number?
Uplifting our speech. Our speech reflects our thoughts and impacts daily life. Do we speak words of thanksgiving and praise? Do we find the highest way to speak to a situation? Do we edify our sister or brother just to make them smile? Do we get back what we get, or do we create a higher moment?
Uplifting our activities. Our activities, the things we do from moment to moment, reflect our thoughts and words and concretize their manifest in the physical world. Do we do for sake or gain, or do we do for the sake of love? Do we return the favor, or do we actuate our five principles? Do we seek out self serving opportunities, or do we seek out opportunities to serve?
Does the uplift of does the work of does the work of does the work of self uplift sound impossible? We touch upon the area of self uplift because self uplift underpins our community's abilities to bring about the transformation we so direly need. So, by specifically teaching the Moorish Americans to be themselves, Prophet Noble Timothy Drew Ali began the border work of uplifting fallen humanity. Today and every January 8th, Moorish Americans celebrate the birth of one Timothy Drew Ali, born Timothy Drew in North Carolina, 1886, and currently known globally as Noble Drew Ali, founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America and prophet to a world in need of guidance, of divine guidance.
Timothy was born in the logging of the eighth point in January when the planet Earth fell in the location of the revolution of year 1886 of the Gregorian calendar. The prophet was born amongst the Cherokee on Sampson County, North Carolina Republic. On the day of birth, there was a great earthquake, a presentment of the prophet's spirit hitting the earth. After the death of his mother, young Timothy was put in the care of his aunt. Little is known of his father, yet we know the prophet's early childhood was very tragic. Before his mother passed, she intuited that her son would one day inherit a great mission. Therefore, she entrusted him to the care of her sister, who was jealous of her young ward and abused him as well as mentally. We are told his aunt put the young baby in a burning furnace, leaving him to die. But Allah saved the child from the burning furnace. And from that point forward, Allah prepared him for the great work that he was to perform for his people and humanity.
We are also told the prophet had permanent scars on his hands and face due to the abuse he endured as a child. His younger life was spent with gypsies. Later on, he accepted his Allah-given mission, leaving the gypsy camp never to return. During the 1900s, as most Asiatics, the prophet was a victim of racial discrimination, poverty, and suffering. He was very intelligent and was always eager to listen to the wise. He was a boy of great bravery and courage. As he grew older, his interest in the East also grew. So with nothing to lose, he left the home of his aunt and began his journey towards manhood. Since he loved to travel, he first went to Egypt. While there, he learned of his heritage, which laid the foundation for his pioneering the return of Islam to the Western Hemisphere. He went to Egypt as Timothy Drew and returned to America with the title Ali.
In Egypt, the young master had the opportunity to visit the great universities, sitting with the Egyptian sages, spending time in the inner chambers of the pyramids, and learning the origins of his people and the truth of their enslavement in their own land. His eyes were open and he came to know his true way of life, Islam, and that Allah is the creator of the original man and woman. Living and learning in Egypt, he could see for himself that the Moors had laws and were masters and scholars in the areas of science, math, art, dignity, citizenship, with dominion over the land. The prophet learned about the life, both past and present, of the Egyptians by word of mouth, as there was little formal education of the modern Egyptians. Inspired by this newfound knowledge of the origin of the Moorish people, the prophet returned to America to claim his people. That is, to raise them up as clean, self respectable, upright citizens descended from a glorious lineage. After his return to the U period, S period, A period, the young adept began his mission, leading his congregation to the true and correct self knowledge and the divine liberty of the Moors.
In 1913, at the age of 27, the noble one started teaching, establishing the Canaanite Temple. He began on Essex County, New Jersey, in the city of Newark. He wanted his people to live for, or of, by, and with each other. His teachings were spread by way of street corners, vacant lots, and open discussions in the homes of his people. He especially taught his people of the lower self and the higher self, and that the Moorish Americans should lead moral uplift as Negroes, blacks, and colors. The Moors were oppressed by strictly enforced Jim Crow laws. Jim Crow being a fictional character in a song and dance act 1860, presented by Thomas. The term Jim Crow refers to and denotes segregation and racial discrimination, the legal system of that era.
Having been kidnapped, tortured, and made to labor here in North America, we Moors were stripped of everything essential: our nationality, language, names, religious customs, families, and birthrights. Our story distorted and destroyed. Bound in chains and sold amongst the European American slaveholders, the Moorish people were forced to work on cotton, sugar, tobacco, and rubber plantations. Slavery was declared ended, but yet by the early 1900s, very little had changed. In terms of citizenship, Jim Crow laws effectively separated the Moorish population from the pale European Americans, depriving our birthright. This enforced segregation rendered our people unequal and inferior, unable to advance as people, socially, educationally, politically, and economically.
The prophet sought to change all of that. Divinely prepared to teach Islam in America, the prophet went amongst the downtrodden Moors and began his mission work. The prophet teaches that we are direct descendants of the first human family who rapidly populated the earth. Our Most High given intellect, skills, and imagination help us survive and even excel under the most unfavorable conditions. The prophet also teaches that overall, the societal and government systems of the pale skinned nations of Europe continue to deal unjustly with the Moorish people, ever striving to crush us and divert us from the path of Allah. This is why we abandon the religion of our enemies, Roman Christianity, and join the ranks with our fellow Muslim brothers and sisters.
The prophet sought to restore the citizenship of all Moors, that we would receive our divine rights as citizens, according to the free national constitution that was prepared for all free national beings. Man being truth and falsehood strangely mixed. The prophet's efforts were dampened with the appearance of one, Abdul Wali Farid Muhammad, a desert Arab of the East and a member of the Palestinian Liberation Organization, PLO. Farid began teaching Arabic and the Islamic doctrines of the Arabs. Fascinated by Muhammad, the people and many Moorish Americans began deserting the Canaanite temple to follow Farid. As a result, the prophet dismantled the Canaanite temple and traveled to Chicago, Illinois, to rebuild and make this location his official headquarters. In 1925, the prophet made a historic trip to the archives of the district in order to reclaim the Moorish flag and to affirm the divine rights to call his people to their true faith, Islam. To finance this trip, he developed a line of health products including teas, oils, tonics, and body rub compounds. He designed these products for and sold them to his people. While in the district, he affirmed the right to rename his people and restore their nationality.
Feeling that the people would not listen to the prophet, President Calvin Coolidge, in accord with the requirements of the Emancipation Proclamation, afforded full protection to our M.A.N.R's mission to teach nationality and Islam in America. The prophet claimed our true flag from the archives, which at the time had been in European possession for 113 years. The wearing of the fez was one of many customs seen in Egypt, which the prophet adopted for his mission. By the late 1920s, the temple's membership had grown tremendously, rendering the prophet unable to personally supervise the inner workings of the movement, causing him to designate subordinate temples with sheiks and sheikesses in charge. These Moors were considered figures of authority and responsibility. A Moorish American becomes a sheik or sheikess because he or she has earned the title and not because he or she is anyone's friend or because of his or her age.
Not fully free of their lower self, European psychology, some of these sheiks and sheikesses, with whom the prophet shared authority and responsibility, abused their charge by exploiting the temple members. A power struggle began as said sheiks and sheikesses were becoming rich from their position in the temple. During a violent conflict within the movement, one of the sheiks was killed and the prophet was charged with the crime, although he was not even in the city at the time. The noble prophet was never sent to trial nor convicted because a few weeks after he was released from jail on bond, he made his transition to the plane of soul in 1929. And afterwards, the movement split into small splinter groups.
For a period of 16 years, 1913 to 1929, Noble Drew Ali consistently brought his people the message of nationality, birthright, and divine creed, as well as the means by which Moorish people are to be restored to full status as humans first and then to citizenship. The message of nationality, birthright, and divine creed was and is critical to the restoration of Moorish people inhabiting what is today known as America, North, South, and Central. The initial call, come all ye Asiatics and learn the truth about your nationality and birthrights. For you are not Negroes, color folks, black people, or Ethiopians, because these names were given to slaves by slaveholders, began the process of resurrection for spiritually and mentally dead people. Tied to our Moorish nationality, our birthright is our inheritance of the land of North, South, and Central America, including the Leeward, and Western Caribbean islands. These are the lands which were possessed and inhabited by our ancestors millennia before the Europeans came out of their caves. This is to say, our people were living on this side of the Atlantic Ocean before there was an Atlantic Ocean. Think about that. Before the Atlantic Ocean was, we, our ancestors, were living, traveling, rearing families, growing food, raising pyramids, building societies, empires, and more in the whole of the Western Hemisphere.
Through the stripping of nationality, our people, our children, were mentally enslaved and effectively disconnected from our birthright, no longer as the recognized land possessors, and thusly becoming the tenant we find ourselves today, now renting space in the Americas, the ancient homeland of our noble ancestors. The call continues that this is a new era of time now, and all men now must proclaim free national name to be recognized by the government in which they live and the nations of the earth. So now, with the founder gone, who was left to direct the mission? The mantle developed to John Gibbons Hill, who declared himself the reincarnated prophet. You are continually grateful. We are continually grateful to Allah for ordaining a messenger in the form of Noble Drew Ali, who accepted the charge to uplift our people from a degraded state of thinking and living and return us to our family and our possession. This return to our family and our possession comes via 4 presidential proclamations and a constitutional amendment, which were buried yet resurrected by Prophet Noble Timothy Drew Ali. This is the information we refer to as the national side of the Moorish movement.
The phrase divine and of which our messenger so often writes brings fuller meaning of the phrase a destiny which is uncertain nor unknown. With the clarion call of "Come, all ye Asiatics, and learn the truth about your nationality and birthrights." This divine and national movement was ushered in some 50 years after the issuance of the Supplemental Emancipation Proclamation and some 13 years after the expiration of the timeline for the process of compensated gradual emancipation. As we proceed, please ask yourself these questions. What good is our divine connectivity, which is our divinity, without the ability to do divine work when directed?
What good divinity when your divinity must be ignored to the benefit of other than your most high creator?
What good divinity without a basis of national possessions, that is, without land and all natural resources?
What good is divinity without actual freedom?
These questions speak to the mission work performed by Noble Timothy Drew Ali. By the grace and blessings of the Almighty, within the span of 16 years, said works include
Establishing temples throughout the United States of America,
Compiling and authoring reading materials by which members are, to this day, able to uplift themselves.
Acquiring real estate to house temples and businesses.
registering and placing on public record supreme jurisdiction for Moorish America.
consulting with the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey in Atlanta, Georgia, 1925.
Representing the Moorish nation at the 1928 Pan-American Conference in Havana, Cuba.
Teaching the national side of the original 13th Amendment with 20 sections and 4 proclamations of emancipation. Let's look at each of the areas just mentioned.
Establishing temples throughout the United States of America. By 1929, the Noble Prophet had founded and established temples in 15 of the United States of America. To this day, throughout all temples, all public meetings share the declarations: "You are not Negro, Black, or colored," and "Come and learn of the illustrious heritage of those descended of the Moroccans and born in America. And yet, come and learn your nationality and birthrights."
Filing authority, authoring reading materials by members are to this day able to uplift themselves in compiling and authoring reading materials for members in their self-uplift efforts. Timothy Drew Ali, prophet and founder, produced prolific literature addressing the spiritual as well as the mundane, the lessons outlined in the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple breathe life into those who partake. This pamphlet compiled from 2 unreleased volumes brings together.
The foundational information and thy father, mother, creed, lessons on the origin of Asiatic people, lessons on the missing 18 years relating to the life experience of the one called Jesus, instructions on building and maintaining family, community, and nation. Cosmic, mystic, and esoteric instruction, the Moorish literature, Moorish guide, and all other pamphlets and literatures aid in the purging the imposed European psychology from the South.
Acquiring real estate to house temples and businesses. To accomplish his mission, the acquisition of real estate to house temples as well as sundry business ventures, providing space to further establish and build various businesses, became of utmost importance. During the time of Prophet Noble Drew Ali's physical presence, the Moorish community recognized and addressed our community's needs for economic empowerment. As the Noble One said and wrote, and we quote, "We must promote economic security. The preaching of economic security among us is by no means as widespread and intensive as the circumstances demand. No one thing is more needed among us at this time than greater economic power. Better positions for our men and women, more business employment for our boys and girls, and bigger incomes will follow our economic security. We shall be secure in nothing until we have economic power. A beggar people cannot develop the highest in them, nor can they attain to a genuine enjoyment of the spiritualities of life," end quote. Please note, the prophet speaks of better incomes, the result of self-initiative and entrepreneurship.
Registering and placing on public record supreme jurisdiction for Moorish America, August 1st, 1928, 2:52 Central Standard Time, designates a new era of time for both Moorish and European America. It was at this juncture that our noble Redeemer registered and placed on public record the supreme jurisdiction for Moorish America. This event was officially notification of receivership, Moorish America proclaiming and laying claim to our inheritance of nationality, land, and more.
Consulting with the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey in Atlanta, Georgia, 1929, Noble Drew Ali visited and consulted with the Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey in Atlanta, Georgia Federal Penitentiary, 1925. Brother Garvey was awaiting deportation to Jamaica. We can only imagine the conversation between the forerunner and the founder.
Representing the Moorish nation at the 1928 Pan-American Conference in Havana, Cuba. During the 1928 Pan-American Conference, held in Havana, Cuba, Prophet Noble Drew Ali represented the Moorish nation of North America. This was a momentous declaration of receivership in the face of the ignored, buried, and unfulfilled plan of gradual compensated emancipation, which should have begun by 1900 at the latest. It is noteworthy to share that the Secretary of State for the United States of America was present at this conference, witness to this declaration.
Teaching the original 13th Amendment with 20 sections. By teaching the national side of the original 13th Amendment with 20 sections and the four proclamations of emancipation, our Redeemer brought to light and resurrected the only law designed to restore nationality, divine creed, citizenship, and birthrights to Moorish people who in this new era of time will no longer be known as Negro, Black, Colored, etc. The plan of compensated gradual emancipation, by which each state was to determine its process for abolition within the period of 37 years, was put in place. A critical part of this plan of compensated gradual emancipation is the true education of persons emancipated and elevated to captives of war status. Needless to say, the plan of compensated gradual emancipation was scrapped and buried, leaving our forebears free, yet without the means to maintain themselves in dignity, unable to sustain themselves without asking another. So instead of a free people doing business within and without our land, as a member of the family of nations, we have a nation of people handicapped, suffering under the illusion that they are nothing and have nothing, including the power to free themselves and change their condition. We share an expert from the article synopsis found on our website to explain.
The root of this conundrum is the game which has been played on so-called African American people who have always been told of the Emancipation Proclamation of January 1st, 1863, but not of the initial Emancipation Proclamation of September 22nd, 1862. Why do you think that is? Now, we must ask, have you read the January Proclamation? Have you done so, you would have been invariably directed from its opening phraseology to the September or initial proclamation.
Read the January Proclamation again and note that there is no legal basis cited authorizing the executive order's issuance. The lawful and legal authority for the January Proclamation is found in the September 22nd, 1862 Initial Emancipation Proclamation, hence the opening phraseology. Reading the September Proclamation, you'll find the acts of Congress authorizing Mr. Lincoln's executive orders. Even more importantly, preceding his citing of those congressional acts. Mr. Lincoln outlines his intent to put before Congress a plan by which the institution of chattel property would be abolished and the manumitted people would be compensated and colonized, as mentioned earlier.
The September Proclamation is the foundation upon which the actual constitutional freedom of Moorish Americans is to be attained, maintained, and fully actualized. The September Proclamation is the first part of a freedom package comprised of 4 executive orders and 1 piece of constitutional legislation accomplishing the goals outlined above. If you've read the September 22nd, 1862 proclamation, then you are aware that at that point, Asiatics coming under federal control are now free, yet classified as captives of war, not citizens.
As indicated in the September Proclamation, Mr. Lincoln presented to Congress in his State of the Union address, December 1st, 1862, his plan for gradual compensated emancipation, which included the colonization of said manumitted people. The plan for gradual compensated emancipation was accepted by Congress via a resolution to begin the process enacting constitutional legislation, which is the original 13th Amendment with 20 sections, to successfully effect the plan.
December 8, 1863 finds so-called African Americans are yet captives of war, lacking the rights of citizenship, with President Lincoln issuing the 4th Executive Order. This won a proclamation of amnesty and reconstruction, stipulating that all persons who have directly or indirectly participated in the rebellion must take the oath of amnesty and reconstruction to have citizenship bestowed and recognized. If ones as Mr. Jefferson Davis did not take the oath, such persons could not enjoy the benefits of citizenship. As Mr. Davis, our people never took the oath, although for reasons vastly different than this Confederate leader. However, according to President Lincoln's plan, we were to be and still must be administered the oath, restored to our humanity, receive naturalized citizenship, be colonized, and receive compensation. The task of abolition and restoration was to have taken place within the allotted period of 37 years. It was anticipated the process would begin and in some states be accomplished within the specified period. Compensation was offered to the states in the form of federal bonds. Using 1863 as our baseline, this indicates that the process outlined by President Lincoln should have begun and hopefully would be accomplished in some states no later than the year 1900 AD. However, our right to citizenship and compensation was thwarted and hidden with President Lincoln's assassination.
During the spring of 1864, Congress debated the legal basis for the chattel institution called slavery. They found no laws on slavery in any of the empirical histories they researched. The only exception is the biblical Levitical or Hebrew code, which states that once freed, the person held to servitude was to be given a portion of all they had helped to build up while in service. President Lincoln incorporated this concept in his compensation package, whereby those who held persons in chattel would be compensated for their losses, as well as those persons who have been held as chattel would receive compensation, returning In the words of the Hebrew law, every man to his family and every man to his possession.
The following January finds the original 13th Amendment with 20 sections passed in Congress with President Lincoln signing the following day, February 1st, 1865. November 18th, 1865, the amendment is ratified by three-fourths of the state. Within the proclamations and original 13th Amendment with 20 sections are provisions for 1. Naturalization, rest, restoration of human status and true citizenship. 2. Colonization on the 22 plus contiguous states. And 3. Compensation, resources to bring about the education and transformation of our people and stability of our nation state.
With President Lincoln's assassination, the radical Republicans swiftly swept this legislation under the proverbial rug, replacing it with the language of the Northwest Ordinance of 1787 in the form of the 13th Amendment with only 2 sections seen today. With the help of the misguided, uninformed Negro leadership, prone due to a lack of self-knowledge, the radical Republicans pressed for the enfranchisement of the captives of war, whose ascendants are today, at best, wards of the state, not citizens.
In 1857, the Dred Scott case is decided accordingly, issuing that statement which in essence codified the behaviors we witness today. A non-citizen, so-called African Americans, will never be treated as a true citizen and is subject without redress or grievance to the abuses and mistreatments the citizenry cared to bestow. Our noble messenger says, and we quote, if Italians, Greeks, English, Chinese, Japanese, Turks, and Arabians are forced to proclaim their free national name and religion before the constitutional government of the United States of America, it is no more than right that the law must be enforced upon all other American citizens. When a man is born and raised there and asks for his national descent name, and if he fails to give it, he is misused, imprisoned, and exiled because they place their trust upon issues and names that they are neither a part or partial of, neither were they formed of their forefathers. Any group of people that fail to answer up to the constitutional standards of law by name and principle, because to be a citizen of any government, you must claim your national descent name, because they, European governments, place their trust upon issues and names formed by their forefathers. Hence, our children, women, and men are killed with impunity. Such a seemingly small detail is nationality and naturalization, yet a critical detail.
Now, before you reject this as too strange to be true, please take the time to research this information and keep in mind that the truth is often stranger than fiction. Our goal at the Moorish Science Temple, the Divine and National Movement of North America Incorporated, number 13, the Moorish American National Republic, is restoration of our people to human status and recognition as a nation among the family of nations through the full implementation of the above cited laws. This knowledge is prerequisite to the healing process requisite to our moving forward and taking our rightful place among the family of nations. A daunting task, but a task of utmost necessity. Considering the continuance of the present status quo being the alternative, we must accomplish our own liberation and uplift. If not, shame on us.
These are the reasons we celebrate the birth of our noble messenger, redeemer, prophet, and founder, Timothy Drew Ali, also known as Sharif Abdul Ali. We trust you have enjoyed our celebration in honoring our founder. We give thanks for the mercy and grace of the Supreme Creator, Creatress, in sending a messenger to redeem us from our dastardly, debilitating, and debasing European psychology.
We thank you for joining us this afternoon and pray the Almighty bless you and yours abundantly. You should wish to share or have a question or comment about this presentation or the Moorish American National Republic. Contact Contact information is provided on screen at the end of this sharing. We invite your thoughts, comments, questions, and all concerns of interest.
We invite you to join our weekly call dialing 443-961-4434. Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Sunday School and 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the National Town Hall meeting. And Fridays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for our Holy Night Call, all at 443-961-44.
At this time, we invite you to join us as we end by sharing subhanallah. At this time, we invite you to join us as we end our sharing by reciting the Holy Covenant of the Asiatic Nation, shown on your screen, chapter 25 of the Holy Quran of the Moorish Science Temple of America. We are the children of one Father,
We are the children of one Father,
and the breast of one mother hath given us suck.
and the breast of one mother has given us suck.
Let the bonds of affection,
That the bonds of affection,
therefore, unite us with our brothers and sisters,
therefore, unite
unite
us with our
with
brothers
brothers.
and sisters,
that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house.
that peace and happiness may dwell in our Father's house.
And when we separate in the world,
And when we separate in the world,
remember the relation that bindeth us to love and unity.
remember
remember the relation that bindeth us to love and unity,
And prefer not a stranger before our own blood.
and prefer not a stranger before our own blood.
If our brother is in adversity, assist him. If our sister is in trouble, forsake her not.
If our brother is in adversity, assist him. If our sister is in trouble, forsake her not.
So shall the fortunes of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race.
So shall the fortune of our Father contribute to the support of his whole race.
And his care be continued to us all.
And
his care be continued to us all.
And our love to each other.
And our love to each other.
We thank you. We thank each of you for joining us and look forward to your presence and future sharings. We love you all. Peace, peace, peace. And before I do that portion, at this time we're gonna go ahead and get our live family over. Islam. 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 Well, at this time, I will go ahead and I'll go ahead and end out in prayer, and then we can just go ahead and we'll leave the floor open. Islam. So we close Islam on. We close the same way we open. So can I please have everyone who is able to stand erect, facing towards the east, heels together, toes apart, separated at a 45-degree angle, upper arms parallel to the floor, forearms perpendicular, 5 fingers erect and together on the left, and 2 fingers erect and together on the right. Allah, the Father of the universe, the Father of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Allah is my protector, my guide, and my salvation by night and by day through his holy prophet, Drew Ali. Amen. I'd like to thank you all for attending, everyone in attendance for our Speakers Bureau presentation. And at this time, I open the floor and turn the floor over to our family in the New York Republic. Islam, Islam, Islam. Islam, can you hear me? Islam.
Sanders Bay, can you hear us?
Islam, I can hear you now.
So we're here in New York Republic. Islam to everyone that's online and checking in with us. We're here having a good time. There are more in the back.
Come on, New York family, New York family, New York family.
All right, go get up.
Would y'all family come in and fill up over there. Go that way so they can see y'all.
Oh,
That way.
New York family.
Yeah, let's turn this down. Okay, Islam. Y'all see it? Could y'all young ones could y'all come up front so that they know that
we got Frozen over there. Huh? What happened?
It froze up on their end.
I know. Islam, Lester, brother McQuarrie Bay. Islam. Happy Founders Day. Happy Founders Day.
Happy Founders Day.
Happy
Yes.
Founders.
Founders Day.
It's a beautiful day indeed.
It surely is. Surely is. It's been nice.
Oh man,
It's
what happened? What happened in New York?
They might have to refresh.
Very nice. Very nice, y'all. Very nice.
Thank you much. Thank you much.
Thanks. Giving thanks, beloved. Look, we couldn't do it without each other.
Indeed.
True that.
He's probably gonna
True
call
that.
back in. He's probably gonna call back in. He's probably
They look like they was having a good old time over there.
I know, right? made me want to go out there and get in a private jet in the backyard and fly over there real quick.
Ooh, wait.
Right.
It's too
Pick
cold.
up on your way.
It's too cold.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on over there. We're waiting for National Grant supposed to be chiming in too.
Islam, Sister Naira.
I'm gonna brush my teeth.
Naira, where you go? I wonder what happened over there. Well, y'all, I mean, we can sit here and talk and just keep the floor warm. We don't want to not say nothing. So we're gonna do this. Each and every one of us take a time to express the gratitude that we have for our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Islam.
Islam, who's gonna start it off?
You speaking?
Oh, well, man, I don't know. I'm just grateful, you know what I'm saying, that I found the prophet or he found me. You know, it's got to be, you know, both ways. Be looking, but yeah, I just like to wish him a happy Earth Day. I mean,
So let me ask you this then. So knowing who you are and knowing our prophet and going through the things you went through, like what has that done for you?
well, I think it's made me a better person. you know,
nationality and birthrights to teach us how to shake off the shackles of Negro, Black, and colorism. We want to give honors to everyone that's online with us. Our National Grand Sheikh sends his Islams to everyone, all the Muslims around the world, those on the call, those celebrating, and even the Muslims who not aware they're Muslims yet. He's not going to be joining us this evening as he had a loss in his family yesterday. He's dealing with that. We all send our prayers and meditations to him. Don't mean to dampen the occasion, but we have one more loss that we had. A good brother from New York Republic. Everybody should be familiar with him. M.A.N.R ill. Brother Ernest. Yeah, I just found out about that this morning. He passed away, and we send our condolences to his family and love to him. May Allah make whoever has passed away, may Allah make their way to back to Allah light and make their family way easy. May Allah be pleased with the energy that is them and their energy live on forever. As we know, our prophet, one of the blessed things that our prophet ever came and taught us is that death is an illusion and there's no enemy of man. So we know that the transition from physical to spiritual, our family is still here with us. They live with us consistently and they're guiding our way and making our way. I always say we got somebody in the ear of the Most High whispering to make our way easy. So that's what we have when we lose a family member. But of course, we still feel those pains and those and the loss and our own human experience of missing a good entity or person that's loving to us. But with that, I'm gonna say peace. I'll pass the mic on to anyone else who would like to come and demonstrate. Yeah, you can. You come on the camera now. Ready? That's good. Islam. First, I want to rise to my highest heights and give praise to Allah, the great God of the universe, who is almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible, the universal governor of this world seen and worlds that are unseen. I give honors to John the Harbinger.
No, it's not warm as yet. That's why. So they hear the echo.
Yeah, it is a delay.
Oh, there's like two different things.
No. They can't hear you on this.
Oh, okay.
Can y'all hear me out there? Islam?
Islam, I can hear you loud and clear.
Loud and clear.
Because I think over there, they're saying we can't hear. They see you, but they can't hear.
Oh, I see.
They dropped us.
No, we still good. Are we still good?
Yeah.
No, they dropped you.
You good? You still here?
You still here?
Okay.
Yeah, but can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me?
I can hear you loud and
I
clear.
get you.
Oh, all right. So let's start with the flow again. In the nature and power of Allah, I rise to my highest heights and give praise to Allah, the great God of the universe, who is almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible, the universal governor of this world seen and worlds that are unseen. I give honors to John the Harbinger, also known to us as the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, both harbinger and forerunner to the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I give honors to all true and divine prophets, naming Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius. Honors to all the Asiatic Muslims who are with us today in the New York Republic, all of our Moorish kinfolk across the nation, Islam, and happy Prophet Noble Drew Ali's birth celebration. I give honors to our National Grand Sheikh, Brother Joe Bratton Bey. I extend those honors, the highest of which the Prophet Noble Drew Ali in the first, second, and third form as we demonstrate in this Republic, Islam. All right, more. So, we now entered into 2022. This is what they call a new year, according to the Gregorian calendar, right? And 136 years since 1886, the birth of our holy prophet, Noble Drew Ali. 109 years since the existence of the Moorish Science Temple of America in the United States of America. And one of the most significant pivotal things, Moors, that we ought to take note of with regard to what Prophet Noble Drew Ali has taught us all. He talks about us taking our place in the affairs of men. Now, that is just not some philosophical cliche that's cloaked up in a phraseology. That expression has profound meaning. And all the Moors across the country who's never heard the true meaning of taking their place in the affairs of men, they should take note. When we take our place in the affairs of men, we do that by way of the five highest principles known to man.
No man or no woman embarks on any journey to conduct any missionary work without first invoking the call to deity. For a wise man understands that if you are to progress in anything, you must first have a good attitude coming from the smaller mind toward the larger mind of the universe. That is that there is no God but Allah. The Christian family says put God first. And the Prophet Noble Drew Ali, when he demonstrated this prayer to us, the Moorish American prayer, this is how we take our place in the affairs of men. This is the first footstep going forward. It is the Moorish American prayer. The world of Islam does not stand without the prayer. Our Ethiopian brother, as he was called, Bilal, he made the first call to prayer in Islam. The Prophet Muhammad asked that he do so because he was one of the best communicators, had a stronger voice than most of the Arabs of that day and time. And so without the call to prayer, Islam ain't got a leg to stand on. No religious organization, institution, or no relation between God and man has any strong foundation without its natural prayer. And so Allah ordained Prophet Noble Drew Ali to come to us who was dead in the North America, the Caribbean, and various parts of the world to redeem us from the conditions of slavery, that being Negro, Black, colored, etc., and those names that allude to the principles thereof. And so now here we are, still babies in this science, still studying, still learning, but ever growing, see? And there is so much more to this vast institution called Moorish Science. Praise be to Allah that he revealed to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, you see, the information that we have received by way of faith of Islam and how we conduct business with each other and socialize in Islamism. Our Christian family, they pray for the coming of God, the coming of the kingdom of God, I would say. But in Islam, we don't pray for the coming of the kingdom of God. We pray to seek our place in the kingdom, for the coming of the kingdom of God had already came through the advent of Prophet Noble Drew Ali. And so here we are now having a great time celebrating our resurrection, celebrating our advancement, not just as individuals or just an organization, but as a nation, you see? And so brothers and sisters, everybody should have something to say today about Prophet Noble Drew Ali. You got a turban on or a fez on, don't be shy. Stand up in a time like this and give your prophet honors, because he stood up for you and took us from the cares of the world when nobody cared nothing about us. Our prophet stood for us, you see? And this organization of ours, as we know it to be in this Moorish Science Temple, Divine and National Movement of North America, Inc., number 13, Moorish American National Republic, is indeed, without doubt or contradiction, one of the greatest rehabilitation centers for the resurrection of a dead people, such as us, who are still out in the cares of the world. But we are on our way, on our way. Make no mistake about it. We are making progress. We are successful, and we are coming together. And the pieces of the puzzle are being illustrated, and Allah's most noblest image is an ever shining light on what this teaching is all about. So brothers and sisters, I don't want to hold the mic too long. I just want to give honor to my prophet who found my family in 1927 and brought them into the Moorish Science Temple of America. I give honor to all my family who came through the Adet chamber under Earl of Eel in the 1960s. And I'm still here today carrying that torchlight on behalf of my family's legacy from 1927 now to 2022. So I want to yield the floor to any of these other sisters and brothers here who got something to say. And I'm going to tell y'all right now, don't y'all stand around and be shy. This is our Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Stand up now, shake off the nervousness, and let's go. Islam, who's next? Come on, Sheikis.
Islam, can I be heard?
Yeah, you can be heard. Come on up here. Come on up here. All praises due to Allah for Prophet Noble Drew Ali.
Islam, this is Sheikis Alyssa Thomas Bay from the New York Republic. I'm rising to my highest heights, giving all perfect praises to Allah, all of our divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, our prophet in these days and time, Prophet Noble Jolene in his first, second, and third form, our national grand sheik, our national officials, all our sheik, sheikesses, deputy sheiks, deputy sheikesses, members, citizens, students, guests, I greet you all with Islam. I just want to wish everyone a happy Prophet Noble Jolene Day. This is a day that we're supposed to reflect on all the things that we are thankful for, we are grateful for, a day that we are supposed to spend with loved ones and just remind each other how blessed we are to be in each other's lives. You know, the prophet means so much to me, my family, and I'm pretty sure everyone in this room and everyone that's watching me right now. You know, he brought us back our nationality, our birthright. He connected us to our true ancestors, the ways of our people, you know, because it's truly a sin not to follow in your ancestors' steps. So I just want to say, let us use this day to love each other, grow, strengthen our bonds of affection between our brothers and sisters, and just to be happy. That's all I got to say. I love you all. Be happy. Smile. Islam and peace.
Islam.
Islam.
Ain't finished yet. We got more coming. We got more. Everybody wants to
New
talk
York
about
Republic,
their
baby.
love.
We here. Front center, looking like a winner.
And Brother Roy Bay mentioned our brother Bilal from Ethiopia, and we know yesterday was on the 7th they celebrated their Christmas, which is the Jenna. So happy, honors and love to our Rastafarian and our Ethiopian family as well. Sister, proceed, sister. You have the floor.
Islam. This is Emily Nader calling from the New York Republic. First rising to my highest heights, giving all perfect praise to the Father, Mother, Principle of the universe, known as Allah. Acknowledging our ancestors, those that we speak of and those that we don't. Giving all honors to our divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, and Confucius, and in these last days and times, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Jew Ali, who we are honoring today. Giving honors to our national grand sheik, all officials, all sheiks, sheikesses, deputy sheiks, all guests, members, citizens, and everyone in this room with me right now, and those that are watching. Islam. I just want to say thank you to Prophet Noble Drew Ali for bringing me home, for assisting me in finding my way, because I was looking for something, and I always knew that Christianity was not it. So I thank you, Prophet Noble Drew Ali, and I thank you for all the people here that are assisting me in my growth. Whether you're in this room or not, I thank you. So Islam.
Praise Allah. Praise Allah.
Well, when somebody's ready on this end, they could put it.
Islam family. I'm sure you're not supposed to point this way. Islam family. I am Deputy Chief of Solomon. Rising to my highest heights. All perfect praise and highest honor to Allah. The mother, father, God, and universe, Lord, true and divine prophets, Jesus, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and to our illustrious Hebrew prophet, in this new era of time, our beloved, Noble Jew Ali, in his first, second, and third form. Give honors to our national grand sheik, Joe Bratton Bay, to all of our officials, nationally, locally, to all of our good body, divine ministry, sheiks, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, to all of our citizens, members, children, and any guests that may be on the line or have joined us. Praise Allah, we are here celebrating our illustrious prophet who taught us or is teaching us, to be ourselves. We uplift fallen humanity. We're teaching our people, who we are not. We are not Negro, we are not colored, we're not Black, we are not Afro-American. We are Asiatic, Moorish, American Muslims. And we came to honor our prophet who brought us nationality and birthright, who has taught us and continues to teach us, who we are, who our ancestors are, what our true history is, and where we belong in this society and in this state. We came to honor him, and we're glad that you joined us. We're celebrating here, on Rogers Avenue, in Brooklyn, New York. You understand? This is Flatbush, Brooklyn. Our ancestors was heavy in this area. True. Heavy. As we were heavy in all areas all around the world. So thank you for joining us. Thank you for helping us honor our prophet. We love him so much. We are raising our people up. We are raising our children up. We love the prophet. We love each other. Love, right? Our first principle, love. It starts with love, and love starts at home. This is home. Welcome home, family. Welcome home. And thank you for joining us.
Islam. Praise Allah. Praise Allah.
It's on. Okay. Hi, Islam family. This is Michelle Ewart L. from the Queens County, New York Republic. Yes, Queens. Yes. I would like to thank everyone for creating this. First, I'd like to rise to my highest heights, acknowledging and giving all praise to Allah, to his divine prophets, Confucius, Buddha, Muhammad, Jesus, and to his illustrious prophet in this latest age and time, Prophet Noble Drew Ali. I would like to give honors to the National Grand Sheikh, to all our officers, sheikhs, sheikesses, deputy sheikesses, all my brothers and family watching this. Basically, I feel as if I'm at the start of my journey. I am grateful for what has been done. Just thinking about what transpired for the prophet to take us under his wings, declare us his sons and daughters, and just the foresight and just the act of just wisdom that was needed to remove me and everyone else here from this de facto lifestyle. Everything was just wrong, in living that way. And we know it. Some of us know it and just didn't know what was wrong. Some of us know it and just end up, doing further incorrect things, that leads to a life of just frustration and emptiness. But now I'm here and I just, we know this. With us, all members must proclaim their nationality. And we are teaching our people their nationality and their divine creed. And I'm going to stop there because for me, that's the most important thing. And I just want to thank all of you out there who have been here before me and have been persevering and persisting and continuing to teach, through the ups and the downs. Those of you who have put together the Moorish School of Law and History, those of you who are on the calls week in, week out, I'm there, I'm listening. To those of you on the Sunday schools, I'm there, I'm listening. And that really imparts energy. It imparts the inspiration and the love to just keep going. I just declared, I just graduated and crossed over in November, but and I think of all of you who continue to make this happen. The Saturday night calls with, Deputy Sheikh Muhammad and just all the other members who are there contributing. I hear the voices and I hear the conviction and I hear all the lessons. It's so much that I'm still putting it together. I may forget, what date did this happen? What date did that happen? Okay, no, but you know what? Listening to you all again just brings it, just keeps putting the bricks in the wall. And I just want to thank everyone for allowing this to happen and for keeping this going. Thank you so much. Happy Prophet's Day, everyone. Thank you. Islam, I yield the floor.
Shout out to the New York students that's in the house. We got some law and history students in the house. Anybody want to say anything? All right. Just say Islam. Just say Islam.
Islam family.
Okay, your name?
Greer Bowen, New York Republic.
Islam.
Islam is Giselle Bowen from the New York Republic.
Islam. That's it. I ain't gonna
Actually, we represent a family of 8.
Family of 8? Islam. A family of 8. Islam. Would anybody else like to speak? No. Someone else? Someone else? Okay. Islam family.
Islam.
Islam family, thank you to everyone. I believe that's all our demonstrations here in New York Republic. We love and honor everyone and thank you all. Of course, the Moorish School of Law and History is starting next week. January 12th is the orientation.
Yes.
So go on our website, www.Moorish American National Republic. Get the info, get the applications, download them, fill them out thoroughly. Take your time, read them. Don't give our sheikhs, our registrar, too much extra work. She got enough. So in the meantime, in between time, we thank everyone. New York Republic loves you. We love you.
We love you too. We love you too. Islam.
Islam. Say it again. Oh, and our Sheikh Mikhail Bey, Mikhail Mushir Bey, he sends his Islams and his love to you. And again, our National Grand Sheikh sends his Islams and love to everyone. And we all send our love to him as he goes through his time. This is a man that still handles business even when he's going through these personal things. So we love him for that, and we honor him, and he deserves any time he needs to take. He deserves it, and we are sure to give it to him. Islam, all love.
Islam.
Send some love to our sheikesses. Our sheikes, our national director of the Children's Sunday School.
Islam.
Send your prayers.
Islam.
Send your prayers to her, and send up prayers to our national registrar, as she is travailing and working very hard, okay, for the Moorish School of Law and History. This is trying times. It's cold outside. The weather is what it is, and these Moors been around for a long time, a long time. They get tired too. So pray for them that Allah grant them strength, endurance, to make it through another year. Praise Allah. Islam.
Much honor to our elders for doing the work and keeping the doors open. So we have one more demonstration briefly. Islam, our brother Fala Il. Islam. Step over so they can see you on the camera. Islam. Hold on. Islam, you got it. You good to go?
Yeah.
All right. I rise to my highest height, giving all perfect praises to Allah, Father God of the universe, giving honor to our divine prophets, to name a few: Emmanuel ben Yahshua, Muhammad, Buddha, Confucius, and last prophet in these days of time, our illustrious Hebrew prophet, Noble Drew Allah. I also rise and give honor to our Grand Sheikh, our National Grand Sheikh, Joe Bratton Bey. I also give honor to all the assistant sheikhs, deputy sheikhs, sheikesses, guests, members, those who are part of the New York region. I greet you all with Islam. Islam. I'm gonna just keep it brief. I got up this morning dancing and cooking and loving the prophet and just giving all glory to Allah for allowing me to be in a position to cook for my family and show nothing but love.
Thank you.
Because my immediate family is here, and it's nothing better than actually looking at my sons, my other half, and just being able to demonstrate and be able to bring them across the bridge as well, which is a blessing because a lot of us don't have that opportunity. And, Brother Cornelius Sanders Bey, you had me crying this rising, Mo, because we've been blessed by the best. And it's a great thing to hear your story and just to hear how similar we are in a sense of just knowing the truth and seeking the truth and finding the truth. And I've been on this mission for quite a while out of this borough of Brooklyn, which I love, my second home. And I'm an Ohioan, but you know, I'm a king at heart, you know. And you know, the noble Drew Ali means a lot to me because I know he came to redeem us and to come and give us an opportunity to proclaim our unalienable rights and be able to express our freedom and go about these streets without any malice or any type of hatred or anything like that. And I've been seeking the truth for quite a while. And I have to give honor to Brother Sheikh McAlbey, who is not present with us right now, but he is present in the spirit. So at the end of the day, I have to give homage to him and give homage to a brother who I invited. He should be on his way, Brother O'Malley, who connected both of us. And I'm just overwhelmed with excitement. I'm just happy to be over here, be on this team, knowing my spoke in the will and just trying to be the best Moor that I can be. Hoorah to the fellow Moors and the fellow Marines, because my pops was a Marine. Islam.
Islam. We improvise. We where the Marines learned it from. And we thank you, Brother Deputy Sheikh Sanders Bey, Deputy Sheikh Gray Bey, Sister McCrary Bey, all the Moors throughout the country. We thank all of y'all and praise Allah for you and all your energies. Thank you for everyone watching. Islam to everyone. Much love. I believe that's it, except big Islam. Islam. Peace.
Peace.
Shut it down.
No. I was just waiting. I was seeing them zooming in. Get the crowd, you know. It's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
You know, definitely thankful and grateful for our prophet, Noble Jew Ali. It's my daughter right here. Say something.
Islam.
You're gonna stand there, you're gonna have to say something. But anyway,
Mm-hmm.
definitely, you know, I'm grateful and thankful for our prophet coming and for him finding me finding him, because there's no telling, you know, when you can't see in front of you and you can't, and all you can do is see behind you, you know something's wrong. So definitely, you know, the prophet gives us something to look back at, and then he gives us something to look forward. See what I'm saying? Because in order to go forward, you gotta, you know, in order to go forward, you gotta be able to look back. But sometimes, you know, through European psychology, we can only look back. That's all we're looking at, but we can't see in front of us. He gave us the vision to see in front of us. Because if you don't know who you are, how you gonna know where you're going? So definitely giving, you know, gratitude and much great and thankful for our prophet Noble Jew Ali, and definitely want to send prayers of healing blessings and all the love unto our National Grand Sheikh Joe Batten Bey and his family at this time. Definitely love our National Grand Sheikh. He's not only just our National Grand Sheikh, he's a brother, he's a beautiful spirit, and just thank him for all he's done and the things he haven't done yet and the things he will do. So definitely sending those prayers and those blessings out to you, National Grand Sheikh, from all of us. We love you much. And at this time, I'm gonna go ahead and is there anything you want to say, Sister Geraldine McCrary Bay, before I end? you got to say something. We had Deputy Sheik Mainstream Gray Bay saying something, but it got cut off by that. But just something. It don't got to be much. Just something, so for the people to be able to see, and then just
Islam,
something from
yes.
the dial play to your heart. That's all.
Islam. I thank you for coordinating this. Appreciate it. I love being a part of it every year. I just want to say Happy Founders Day to everybody. I'm glad we stumbled upon Temple 13 because, I didn't know anything about Noble Drew Ali. He was the beacon of light for all Asiatics and, helped us find our true origins of ourselves and help us understand who we are and, help us, know the knowledge of ourselves. I'm not much of a speaker, but Islam.
And thank you, Sister Geraldine McQuarrie Bay, for all you have done in your energies. Definitely like to say, you have seniority in the Founders Day presentation. I think this is gonna be your jam.
It's my turkey.
All right.
Islam, Deputy Sheikas.
Islam. Well, definitely love you much. Love you much, Deputy Sheik Mainstream Gray Bay 44. I can't see your face, but just want to extend.
Oh, I'm still here. I'm just in the background.
Oh, okay, yeah. Just want to send love unto all and to all and your families and everyone. Have a blessed rest of the day. Enjoy the day. Happy Founders Day. We have something that we can be happy about.
Islam, and I second that notion.
Islam.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed.
Peace and love.
Peace and much love, family.
Peace and love. Peace, peace, peace. Love you much, family.
To our viewing audience, peace and love unto you as well. Be peaceful.
Likewise. Thank y'all for participating.
Islam.
Islam.